Jesus. All right, on to number 4. Well, we're getting the signal of 1 to go, and we're headed fast into turn 4. Salvage by Kaziski Auto Parts. Looking for quality used parts to get your car or truck back on the road? Give an experienced salesperson at Kaziski Auto Parts a call today and let Team PRP help you get your car back on the road. Give Andrew or one of the salespeople a call today, 731-4592. You can also stop by 50th and I Street in Omaha. Are they ever going to redo that road?
The big gravel one? No,
that looks like a road that would be sad in the 1920s.
Well, the thing is, it's split between us and Kmart.
Yeah.
Oh, Kmart ain't going to pay for it, so what's it matter? So we try to fill it. They fill it once a year, and then it takes 2 weeks, and it's
a big rain.
Well, I think what kills that road is like when we get the heavy rains, whatever you put in it, it just washes right out.
And semis go up and down it all day.
You put asphalt on that baby, it won't run away.
No, you put asphalt on the thing and it snows or ices over, you're going to have soapbox derby races at Kaziski
Holy
Auto Parts.
cow, that's a good point. You be sitting there at your desk answering the phone, hello, Team PRP, and here comes a semi down the road because it can't get stopped.
So drive-through.
I think we may have just talked our way into why they won't pave that road.
Okay.
But get to Kaziski Auto Parts today and get yourself back on the road. Quality used parts, Team PRP, Premium Recycled Parts. It's a group of guys that are getting together and talking about or making sure that the parts you're giving out to these people for the salvaging is
top
high quality,
notch, quick. We're just
It's not something that you're going to rip off the car and it's going to break in a week. It's got. Do they have warranties to them?
Oh yeah, everything has a warranty on it. Usually 3 to 6 months. Basically, what it is a cheap dealer part.
Yep.
So.
Yep. Hey,
yep.
I had to ask you.
Yeps.
Yep.
All of a sudden, we're on an episode of
the Muppets.
King of the Hill.
Anyways,
you were saying.
I'm Boomhauer.
Dang old man.
Yeah. So,
you are Boomhauer, by the way. But go on. Let's get.
So I was asking you a couple months ago, what was the big thing? What's the big thing going through Kaziski Auto right now? What seems to be like the hot ticket item?
AC compressors. I mean, that's probably the biggest thing, and everybody needs one. It's hot. Nobody seems to care in the winter that they need one, so right now AC compressors are rolling.
I bet God, those things are incredibly expensive when you buy them through a dealership.
Oh yeah,
you're talking.
Some of them are $900, and we'll sell them for like $100.
That's insane.
And it's the same thing.
That is insane. So those car commercials are right when they're talking about buying your warranty part commercial, like alternator, $1,800. When you go through the dealership, it's actually $1,800.
It's not the dealership; it's the stealership.
Yeah, no kidding. All right, so get to Kaziski Auto Parts, 50th and I Street, 731-4592 is where you can call. Maybe you'll get Andrew on the phone one day. So this is turn 4, and that means we're going to talk infield report, and we're going to do a little bit of a comparison here. The IMCA sanctioning body, I asked Bud one night, I said, seriously, break it down for me. Why is IMCA so popular? And because I hear a lot of drivers, as I've learned in this dirt track community, drivers tend to bitch. A lot.
Yeah, a lot.
And I'm stressing a lot. But there's some things that IMCA could do different. But why is IMCA so much more popular in this area as to where NASCAR seems to be more popular in the rest of the area, in the rest of the country?
And that's what, like you said, we sat down, it was, 3 weeks ago, quick shake with me and Bud about got into a fight over the deal. I've always been growing up around the NASCAR stuff. To me, it's the most realistic thing to do. I mean, you sign, everybody mostly complains, well, I got to sign a $100, $160 waiver that says that I got to be in NASCAR. That's up to $1 million insurance. I mean, it's unreal. You get into a wreck or something happens, you're covered. Well, IMCA has the same thing, but no, they don't actually. And NASCAR pays a lot more in points. But around here, the big thing is like the stock cars, dirt tracks. Dirt tracks can't afford what NASCAR is. A lot of the East-West Coast is all asphalt. So that's why everybody does NASCAR out that way. And here it's died down so much. But to me, I mean, I'm not picking either side of it because if I had to, I'd run IMCA if I have to. I'm not picking either or. It seems more reasonable to me to do NASCAR everything instead of buying an IMCA one because the payout is so much better. The insurance is so much better.
Now, when you're talking about payout, though, are you talking about weekly payout or are you talking about season payout?
Weekly payouts are about the same. Both series is the same. That basically depends on the track. At the end of the season, when NASCAR and IMCA are in effect, you get a whole lot bigger check coming from NASCAR than you would from IMCA. But 90 guys are going to go run IMCA and 10 guys are going to run NASCAR. Why wouldn't I want to be – if this sport is not about making money, but if you can't afford to do it, why not go where the 10 are that are going to get more money than you at the end of the season? You get what I mean?
Yep, I understand what you're saying. Now, for me, I like IMCA. I mean, I've raced, I-80 Speedway and Adams County Speedway, and they are NASCAR sanctioned. Me, personally, when it comes down to it, I don't really I don't care where I race. As long as it's round and brown and I can run fast on it, I'm good to go. Dan, shut up.
I'm not saying anything.
As long as it's round and brown, boys. I'm in it.
I'm going to have to edit all of this out now. Thanks. Go on.
But I like IMCA because and I'm not throwing either one of these tracks under the bus, but I-80 does have my class, the B mods as they're known, and Adams County Speedway has the B mods. But when you look at the rules package, they're both NASCAR sanctioned tracks. You look at the rules package, they are different. And that doesn't make sense to some of the drivers. Now, when you go to IMCA, you now have 4,000 tracks under one license, exact same rules package. Anywhere you go at those tracks, and you have a lot better. You have a lot more options as to where to go to race. And a lot of people have told me, about the insurance policy. You pay the $100 basically for a NASCAR license or an IMCA license. You do have that $1.5 million, and I think it's 1.5 now for the health insurance or whatever through NASCAR, and I have used it and it's worked great. IMCA, you only get $50,000. A major biblical difference.
When you're talking about a major accident, that's nothing.
When
you're talking about serious medical assistance, sitting in a hospital for 3-4 weeks recovering, that $50,000 may not even cover a week.
No, just look at what happened to Tom Summerfield.
Exactly. We talked about this a couple weeks ago. Tom Summerfield fell and damaged his back, and we believe he's now paralyzed.
Wow.
Yep.
Don't know for sure, but the Facebook posts, and you don't want to take Facebook, you take Facebook for what it's worth.
Grain of salt.
Right, but it sounds like Tom may never walk again. And from what I understand, when they life flighted him, that's $30,000 alone.
Yeah.
Ambulance ride, $4-5 grand, $10 grand now.
I've had to do it.
$50,000 is not going to get you very far.
No. So, back to what we were talking about with IMCA versus NASCAR, they both got their strengths and weaknesses. It really comes down to what you want to do and what you can afford to do. Andrew's got a really good point. If you can't really afford to do this, you might be better off racing NASCAR, because if you're in the top 10, you're going to make a lot of that investment back. You go in IMCA. Do you know what Bill Layton made when he won the 2008 or whatever state championship in NASCAR?
When Bill won both track championships, state championship, I think he racked in around $10,000. If you win the national championship, that's $25,000-$50,000. They used to win that back in the day. $100,000 they used to win.
Now, IMCA, on the other hand, you might only get $1,000 or $2,000. So, yeah, it's a big difference. But what really makes IMCA work around here is, if all the NASCAR tracks came together, if I-80 and Corning had the exact same rules all across the board, or used IMCA-style rules across the board, you would see a lot bigger car counts, I think, at these tracks. Now, this is just my opinion, but I've talked to a lot of drivers that say it's just a lot nicer. I am going to buy that $100 license, and I can go run I-80, McCool, or Adams County with a $100 license, or I can buy that $100 license, and I can go run 8 or 9 weekly tracks IMCA, and I don't have to worry about the rules package because it's the same everywhere I go.
Yeah, but the thing is, you're going to sit down at the beginning of the season, you're going to go, I'm going to pick these two. You can't run 9 different racetracks in a week.
Well, no, you can run at most 4 or 5.
Yeah, most like 4 to 5. So if I'm going to sit down at the beginning of the season and I told myself I'm going to run I-80 and I'm going to run McCool, mostly because it was NASCAR. If I sat there and I go, I'm going to run let's go with Eagle and Harlan. They're both IMCA tracks.
IMCA, yep.
That's what I'm going to do. And you usually tell yourself that, but you know what? We're kind of talking about with the whole Austin Dillon, Tony Stewart thing. It's the same rules package. Is that good or no? I don't like that. It's just
you don't like the same rules package?
No, I think the track should have to verify what it is.
Yeah,
I don't think a series should control it.
As an IMCA competitor, if I know I can go run 10 different tracks with the same rules package, but if I want to, if I'm running the same equipment all year, but I want to go to this other track, and now I have to either go buy stuff or change stuff out, I'm not going to want to do all that work if I'm just going to run that track one time.
But really, there's 1 or 2 different things, and it's really not a money factor.
So
Now-
I think the thing we're gathering here is that there's a lot of similarities between the two, and it just simply comes down to preference.
It comes down.
What's the possibility of me running both?
You can.
Can I buy-
Jesse
can I run
Sobbing
Jesse
does it.
Sobbing.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, anybody can
Jesse
do it.
Sobbing, Dennis Cook.
Everybody-
Dylan's
almost
a lot of
everybody
people.
does.
Oh yeah.
Well, this is obviously an argument that could go on forever and ever and
Oh,
ever,
yeah.
but we are limited on time. We're running out of time, so let's get down to the nitty and gritty, get the green-white checkered. Guys, next weekend we're going to sit down and break down what happened at Loudon, and then we're also going to sit down and talk with Jace Kaiser, driver of the SLMR series, and what...
He's what do we want to say?
Isn't he dating your sister?
My cousin.
Your cousin.
He's a crate and a super. He does run SLMR. He's
He doesn't
he's
run
our
SLMR.
He's our NASCAR point state leader right now.
Oh, okay, my information is incorrect then.
Don't look at me.
I'm looking at you.
Okay.
Okay. So we're going to talk with Jace Kaiser next week, and then we're also going to get some predictions. Obviously, the NASCAR boys are on an off week next week, so we'll sit down and we'll talk a little bit more dirt than we typically do so that we'll give the NASCAR boys their week off, and we'll talk dirt track a little bit more. So thank you so much for joining us. Boys, where are you running at?
I think we're going to be running Eagle on Saturday night, and well, of course, actually, this upcoming Saturday night will be the 21st.
Right, it'll be the Silver Dollar Nationals, which you've already said. Well, I think we mentioned that off the air that you were going to be running that on Saturday night. Crawford on Friday, right?
Yep.
Okay,
on Friday.
Andrew.
Thursday night I'll be the opening night of the Silver Dollar for the SLMR series, and then I'm going to take a break the rest of the weekend and watch the best racers come. So I'm ready to go.
Treat your girlfriend to a good dinner that night.
I might.
Yeah, barbecue beef sandwich.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be.
She's gonna be
I ain't
eating
gonna miss those
at the.
races.
She's gonna be at the infield of I-80 eating the barbecue beef sandwiches. So I may bring you a beer or two. So we'll see you down there at the track, and hope to see everybody else there. Also, this Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, we want to say a big thanks to one of our sponsors, Crawford County Fairgrounds. They're going to be having their Friday night's going to be the 305 sprint cars are going to be racing. Special night for them, so make sure to get out there and watch those races. Saturday is going to be the monster truck rallies, and then Sunday they're going to have, I think it's going to be the final figure 8 races of the year, and they're also going to be RV demos.
The one thing I want to close the show out with is our thoughts and prayers are out with Tom Summerfield right now. We hope he's having a speedy recovery, and we know he's got a long road ahead of him, and Godspeed to him.
Definitely. And I want to clarify that, too. I said RV demos. It's not showing off RVs. It's going to be a demolition derby with RVs.
Are you driving one?
No, God, no. They won't even let me wreck those things. I do a bad enough job announcing. So, Crawford County Speedway, ccsdirtracing.com is where you can get all the information. Thanks, everybody, for joining us. Thanks to Joe Kaziski for sitting down and talking Silver Dollar Nationals with us. We'll see you next weekend. This has been Dan Taylor, Andrew Kaziski, and Buddy Ray for the front stretch. We'll see you at the track.